4:30, showtime. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 4:30 p.m. on November 4th, 2025, for the closed session meeting of the San Clemente City Council. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are in closed session. Good evening, everyone. This is a regular business meeting of the San Clemente City Council, November 4, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Call the meeting to order, and I would like to invite the Assistant Pastor of Calvary Chapel, San Clemente, Pastor Steve Ford, to give us our invocation this evening.
All right, thank you so much. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord, and we give you praise today. We thank you, Father, so much for the city of San Clemente, Lord. We thank you for the leadership that you brought to us. We thank you for our mayor, for our city council members, for all of those that are in service in this great city, and we ask, Lord, that you would bless them. And Father, even right now, we would ask for wisdom for them, and that you would strengthen them with diligence, and that, Lord, you would lead them by your Spirit. Father, your word says in Proverbs 8, speaking about wisdom, your word says, counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign and rulers decree justice. By me princes rule and nobles and all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. I ask, Lord, that you would give direction and guidance. I ask, Father, that you would bless this community, that you would bless the people that are here, Lord, and the people that are watching online, that you might knit this city together in unity, and that you would be glorified here. I ask it all, Father, in the name of Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Mr. Wu, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mayor. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, let the record show all members are present. We have no special presentations this evening, and let's have the council member reports. Mr. Wu, we'll start with you. Do you have anything to report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. On November 1st at the Maxburg Plaza Park, attended Dia de los Muertos, traditional holiday celebrated by our Hispanic community, especially Mexican Americans. We gather to pay respects and remember friends and family members who have passed. We also celebrate their lives through arts and music. I'd like to thank our staff from our Beaches and Parks and Recreation for organizing this event. Back last week on October 29th, attended an OCTA public meeting regarding its coastal rail resiliency study midterm plan. There are lots of information around, and it caused confusion for people. I'd like to take this chance to clarify that this is a plan separated from OCTA's emergency repair work at the Mariposa Point. The emergency work is fully funded with over $300 million. And it includes some work on the riprap, which has been completed. The catchment wall on the bluff side, which is ongoing. A new beach trail to reconnect Linda Lane and North Beach, which will be completed after the wall construction is completed. And then 240,000 cubic yards of sand replacement, which OCTA just delivered a tiny portion of it recently. And this is emergency work. Separately, there's a long-term plan to find a permanent solution for the coastal rail. When people talk about a relocation of the rail to an inland route, that is one of the alternative, the permanent solution. That's more long-term, 30 years out. In between, this is the midterm plan. It covers anywhere from 10 to 30 years. The OCTA is trying to, they're proactive on the community outreach to try to do some planning on this phase. They're doing the planning on it and the community outreach, but no, it's not funded. There's no money for EIR, there's no money for construction at this moment. For this midterm plan, they're proposing, on the bluff side, they're proposing the same catchment wall, a type of a retaining wall. On the beach side, they're proposing riprap, vertical seawall, or a combination of the two in order to limited their work within the right-of-way. And there's always a sand replenishment portion of that beachside solution. And they propose a one-time sand replacement at this moment. This is where the city, the public, and the advocacy groups needs to work together and constructively to push for more sand on the beach, and not just a one-time placement, but recurring sand replenishment. I've spoken with a few OCTA board members. Each of them, they support sand replenishment at San Clemente. So let's keep them close. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you. Rick? No, you're on vacation, so.
I know,
state
but I still have a slide. I'm gonna put up. Yeah, and I appreciate Councilmember Wu's clarification on the rail resiliency. I went to the same meeting and there was a lot of information, and I think you clarified it very well. Did a few other things, chamber business meeting and activities, but I was gone. I was out of town for a few days. Went back to Nebraska to watch the USC Nebraska game, and I was one of the few Trojans in the stands with 86,000 Nebraska fans. And they were very, very friendly, but that's because they were ahead in the first half. But they were still very cordial after USC beat Nebraska 21-17. Fight on.
Thank you. Victor?
Oh, yeah. Let's see, make sure. I had a meeting with Cal Cities, our monthly meeting.
Mike.
All right, just turned it on. Okay. We reviewed all the dangerous legislation that was recently passed out of Sacramento. I'm not going to go through it all right now. There's a couple of pieces of legislation that will affect us detrimentally. Some on land use planning, takes away the city's rights. Others on the Brown Act, which imposed significant costly obligations on the city, which I don't think we're prepared for right now, but it's something we'll have to budget for in the future. I did also attend the Del Mar Treat Street event. It was an opportunity for me to talk to a lot of people that were downtown that area about some of the issues that we went. I took that advantage of that to do that. Surprisingly, about 80% of the people I talked to walking downtown, and it was packed on Del Mar, were from out of town. They were from Oceanside, Dana Point, San Juan Capistrano, Aliso Vallejo. So we have a lot of people coming into town, spending money here, more than I thought, because I would have guessed that, 30-40% would be out of towners, but it was more like 80%, and we were stopping everybody talking to them. So I found that fascinating. At a meeting with the golf committee leadership to go over the proposal that's up tonight, to get their insight and into what's happening, their concerns and their views on from the golf community. I also took the opportunity this week to spend part of my Saturday, almost half the day, at the golf course, sitting in the restaurant, going to the range, talking to people just randomly about what their views are of the various entities that comprise the golf course, from the starters to the range, to the practice facilities, to the other activities that go on there, including the restaurant. I think everybody that's here, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, know and understand that people are not pleased with the restaurant. At least that's an indication I got, and people are pleased with the current condition of the golf course. So that was also good to hear, and I got that from everybody. So I think that was good in both meetings, just meeting individually, just talking randomly to people, and then talking to the subcommittee leadership. Also had a meeting of our investment advisory committee this past week. Our investment advisory takes responsibility and invests all the money that we have in this city into various funds, the millions of dollars that come in to the city. I think it's about 86 million right now. And we figure out what with the advice of our outside counsel and advisors what the best strategies for investing those funds are. So we do that on a quarterly basis. We had a meeting of the San Clemente High School Leadership Day. It's a program that we're trying to promote, and I'd like to thank Rosemary Sala for putting that on. We bring, I should say she, it's a collective we, but she's the one that organizes that for the city. She brings students here. They sit here in the audience. They get educated on all the components of our city government, helping them better understand what our budget looks like, what all our department heads do, and what a city council person does. And it's a program we're going to further develop next year and improve as best we can. At a Chamber of Commerce meeting affairs program with Jeff Bale, who's the speaker, who's the Orange County Business Council. He had a lot of insight into what's happening business-wise in the community of Orange County, gave us significant insight into what the business climate is, how investment is, what's going on with housing market here in Orange County, all to help us do better here in our jobs as city council people. Had a meeting today with the Orange County Fire Authority, a board which I'm a member of, to talk about a lot of personnel matters, but a lot of HR matters that I won't bore you with, but we have to do that on a quarterly basis. Also had a meeting of the 250th, the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps, where we were spoken to by Major General Thomas Savage, Commanding General of the 1st Marine Division. I know a few of my colleagues attended. It was a great event. At the end of the evening, when the dancing started, I was able to escape and watch the Dodgers win the World Series. Trying to think that. Look at my notes. Attended the Dia de los Muertos also, as my colleague pointed out. It's a celebration that we began here 2 years ago, where we recognize the historic nature of that community in the Maxburg Park community, and help celebrate the a cultural event that's very important to a lot of people in that community. Had a meeting with the OCFA OCFA personnel manager over some issues. So I think that covers it. Oh, wait, the same event that Zen Wu talked about, the committee that came and presented here. We've been working on that for probably 2 years. This was the last in a series of maybe a dozen community meetings regarding the coastal rail. It's something that I think most of us up here have been working on for the past 3 years before Mr. Wu got here, trying to bring sand to this community. It's coming to a conclusion very quickly. We're moving very quickly, and we're going to try all we can over the next 2 years to bring as much sand as we can to San Clemente. That's it.
Thank you. Mark?
All right. Been a busy couple weeks for me, but not in terms of the city, just because of Halloween. So, had the Cal Cities Coastal Cities Group Leadership Meeting. Went well. Also was able to go to the downtown trick or treat with thanks to the DBA. Wonderful event. It was great seeing all the little ghouls and goblins and princesses and dinosaurs walking around the street. And thank you to all the businesses who are so accommodating and handing out the candy to the little ones. It was a really fun event to be part of. Also, did the junior leadership program. Mr. Cabral mentioned this, but I brought about 40 of my students from San Clemente High School, as well as some other students who are interested in city leadership, interested in policy. They are doing civic projects and civic engagement projects right now, so it was great to have them. They took time out of their day to come here to hear all, and the staff did a phenomenal job of presenting what city does, what city governance is, what the bureaucracy does. And going from everything to public safety, to policy, to engineering, and they came away really pleased with what the staff was able to do. And also thank you to Rosemary Salas as well for helping with organizing that. Also attended the 250th U.S. Marine Corps Birthday Ball. Again, it was a great opportunity to hear from veterans from all the way back to Vietnam War. I didn't meet anyone beyond the Vietnam, earlier than the Vietnam War, but I met with veterans from Iraq War and Afghanistan, and it was great to hear just how much they love this country and how much they are willing to sacrifice for this country. Other than that, had some great trunk or treat programs, and it was great.
Thank you. I also attended a number of events with my colleagues. I won't go into detail, but I spoke also at the junior leadership program that Mark's helping to organize, and the Black Tie USMC Marine Corps 250th anniversary. Very impressive. General Savage gave a very impressive talk. I was delighted to be there. The Coastal Rail Resiliency, a number of you, I think 4 of us were at that meeting, and I think what I liked about that meeting was the emphasis of the city that the stabilization of the railroad is really based on the sand that supports the riprap that supports the railroad. So I think they're getting that message from us loud and clear. So I'm glad to see the work that we're all doing in that area. Also, I attended and gave a presentation at the 75th anniversary of the Palisades Methodist Church, which started here in town exactly 75 years ago and is just celebrating their anniversary. So with that, thank you, gentlemen, for your reports. Let's move on. The next item is oral communications, part 1. Madam Clerk, do we have any cards for speakers?
We do. I'll call the first several speakers,
How many do we have total, you?
about 7.
Okay, go right ahead.
Let's see, D. Coleman, followed by Dana Latimer, followed by Shelby Howell. D.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. So I'm just doing a follow-up on I was here 2 weeks ago on the proposed ordinance change for the 72-hour parking that the city currently has. This is following a law that was originated back in 1959, so it's somewhat extremely outdated. I gave a slide with some different cars, different locations, pictures, things like that, and the different cities around us have already changed and see that it's a problem. There's a number of residents, by the way, I'm a homeowner in Short Cliffs and also a business owner as well in the city. So I'm very proud of our city, as I know you all are, and maintaining the integrity of our city with a nice look is important. But many of the different cities have gone to a 100-foot distance change, but that was not enough in some of the cities that did policy. Just 2 years ago, the city of San Diego made an adjustment to theirs and had a unanimous city council approval and voted to make sure that the vehicles move at least a half mile instead of the 1/10 of a mile. So I think that's critical in maintaining a better program where people don't continually habitually abuse the program. Currently, we have a complaint-driven process, and it's not good. It creates a lot of issues with neighbors, things like that. It's a drain on our resources for the sheriff and other things like that. So if we can have a policy where it just gets done one time and they don't have to keep coming back over and over again, it's going to minimize a lot of different problems. We have the Olympics coming up soon. So it's also, I think, prudent to maybe look at this also from being forward-thinking and trying to maintain a really solid base of something to where people aren't crowding up our streets when the Olympics come as well, too. But more so, it's for the future. Ultimate goal is having a better community, better neighbors, safer streets, higher property values, bigger tax base, and a better use of our city streets. And that's why I hope that we can make a change with that ordinance. I've got a number of other residents in the area. Short Cliff seems to be kind of a hot spot at the moment. When I showed the pictures that I put up there 2 weeks ago, there was a camper there. There was 2 trucks. They have not moved. they're still in the same exact spot. And they'll probably be there in another 2 weeks if nobody says anything. But I appreciate anything we can do to help work together to maybe have a better program for our city.
PD, and I think, Mark, you agendized that after our last discussion.
Yeah, I agendized it. That,
Yeah.
as soon as the staff comes back with a proposal, it will be coming back to city council. Dee, I'll make sure that you know when that is so you can come and speak on it.
Great. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. Go Trojans.
Thank you, Dee. Next speaker.
Dana Latimer, followed by Shelby Howell, followed by Christine Poppenhagen.
Hello, council members. Before I start, because I know my speech is only 2.5 minutes, I wanted to say I've never been to a council meeting, and to hear all of you go out in the community and talk to other people and attend the events, like, really warmed my heart. So I'm glad I came here tonight. My name is Dana. I'm here to speak on behalf of the 20 local small businesses located in the Presidio building on El Camino Real, including a yoga studio, a chiropractic office, my skincare business, an insurance agency, and many others. As a small business owner and longtime resident, born and raised in Orange County, I love seeing new businesses open in San Clemente. I love supporting a thriving community, and I'm proud to be part of it. Since Happy Coffee Club opened, the parking situation at my building, at the Presidio building, has become a serious issue. Their high customer volume and parking overflow are directly affecting us. My business and several others are losing revenue. Our clients can't find parking. Clients have been late, frustrated, or just leave altogether. I brought this issue to our parking liaison at the building. He told me he tries to inform the clients of Happy Coffee Club, their patrons, and that they can't use our parking lot. Unfortunately, people have been rude and disrespectful to him. I didn't believe him, so I spent half a day with him in the parking lot and witnessed firsthand how he is spoken to. People ignore the signs, ignore him, and still walk across the street. I've tried speaking personally to the patrons to explain their choice to park there hurts over 20 local businesses in the Presidio building, and I've been dismissed. I'm not here to blame or victimize a new small business in the community. I love having a small business there. I'm here because this is a real ongoing issue that is actively hurting 20 small businesses who pay rent that include the use of that parking lot. We've been here investing in this community, and it is disheartening by something that wasn't properly planned for or enforced. I don't have the solution, but I'm asking for your help, whether it's increased enforcement, improved signage, or ensuring Happy Coffee Club has its own designated parking. Something needs to be done. It's sad to see one new business unintentionally harming so many others who invested in San Clemente with their time and money. And we opened our businesses with the understanding that there would be adequate parking provided for our clients. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. You did a good job, by the way.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Shelby Howell, followed by Christine Poppenhagen, followed by Mike Kay.
All right, what timing? I'm Shelby, the proud owner of Happy Coffee Club. All right, so good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Shelby Hooley, and this is my husband, Cameron Hooley, and we are the proud owners of Happy Coffee Club here in downtown San Clemente. I'm here tonight not just as a business owner, but as a local, a neighbor, a parent, and someone who deeply believes in what makes this town so special, a community. Our business took an unused, deteriorating building and lot and turned it into something meaningful, a space
Take it over. Yeah, so
Why don't you finish reading it?
I'll just give you guys a little bit of background. We took over the old La Team Data building that had been vacant for 5 years before we got it. I'm not sure if anybody saw that building during that time, but there was mattresses behind it, homeless people inside of it, outside of it, needles back there, weeds up to our knees. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what happened to the people that owned it before us, but they actually lost the building to foreclosure because the city took so long to approve things. And if that's not eye-opening, I don't know what is. When it comes to parking, and I can speak firsthand, and I have a picture I can show you guys. That parking lot, they put cones up and about 20 parking spots, and that's partially the reason why they don't have spots for their own customers. But that's another story. The reason why we're here today is because we've been dragged through the dirt for the last 2 years with the city when it comes to opening up our business. We bought the building in September 2023 with the plan to open up this coffee shop, and during that time, I kid you not, the city has missed every single deadline that had been given to us. When we first got the building, I talked to the city about getting approved parking waivers for the building, because if you've ever been to that building, our alleyway back to our small parking lot, that's one handicap spot and one regular spot, it's only 8 feet wide. Cars can't fit back there. It's actually unsafe for cars to go back there. Somebody hit our building trying to get back there. So, like what we were intending to do was get parking waivers. That's what I talked to the city about before we bought the building in 2023. And what the city has told me throughout this entire process is that we have to exhaust all the options. Even though we know the answer to the problem, they want me to exhaust all the options, which has taken over 2 years, and here we are today, still with the same issue. So, like I said, I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you that we got complained to when the building was empty, because of it not being cleaned up, and now we're getting complained because we're bringing people together. So, yeah, so we're just here to get some support from the city, from you, Mayor. I mean, we have a lot of really cool things that we want to bring to this community. We have church groups that meet at our shop. We're going to do a movie night with a church in this community.
A lot of families.
A lot of families, yeah.
Thank you very much. Your time is up, but there are two of you, and you each had a comment, so did you kind of consolidate that? Did that conclude what you want to?
I just wanted to say that we took this, deteriorating lot and started this beautiful business that encourages connection, joy, and belonging at the heart of our city. Unfortunately, recently, we've been accruing fines because of the use of our back lot. We understand and respect the city's regulations, but we also believe the situation presents an opportunity, not a violation. We've created something positive for the city of San Clemente, something that enriches our downtown without compromising safety or integrity. We're asking for your help to work with us and not against us, to allow this space to continue to serve the community safely and responsibly. Rather than punish families for enjoying a place and space that brings them together, we hope you'll support our efforts to make downtown a more vibrant, connected, and family-friendly atmosphere. Thank you for your time and support.
And
Thank you.
there's just one thing that I want to leave you all with. Just for example, in this time frame, there's 30 spots on Del Mar, parking spots that are being used for outdoor dining because of COVID, and we're in 2025, and there's 30 spots that are being taken over for that. So when I'm told that there's a parking issue, and I see businesses as recently in the last 2 months getting
Brand new patios.
put out there, it doesn't add up, right? So there's definitely a problem there with that. Also, I've seen firsthand people opening businesses. We turned a restaurant into a restaurant, right? It took us 2 years to do that, which is just unacceptable. I've seen people take antique shops and turn them into restaurants in 3 months just recently. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Is there anything you can tell us on how we can maybe?
We can't right now because
Sure.
we're just hearing public comments, but obviously there's an issue there that our staff will need to look
Okay.
into. And
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Thank you. Next speaker.
Christine Poppenhagen, followed by Mike Kay, followed by Lois McNichol.
Hi, my name is Christine. I own a laundromat that is right next door to Happy Club Coffee. We're being severely impacted by this parking situation. Happy Club Coffee is planning to host events and rent their space for events. The events are going to be held in the back parking lot, events that require a large parking lot, a parking lot that Happy Coffee Building does not have. They don't have. So it's about hosting events in the back parking lot, events that require a large parking lot, a parking lot that the Happy Coffee Club building does not have. So where do their customers park? They park in my lot, a private lot, right next door. Our lot is small. It is shared by 3 businesses. Our businesses are suffering tremendously due to the recent parking problems with Happy Coffee customers. I've lost thousands of dollars this past month. My customers are complaining about having no parking, nowhere to pull up, park, and carry in their laundry. They have to physically have somewhere to park to bring their laundry in. Happy Coffee has hosted events in their back parking lot almost every weekend in October, and now already advertising 2 more weekend events in November on social media. They use their back parking lot to host these events. Again, they do not have enough parking to accommodate the events, yet they continue to plan the events knowing it's disruptive to the surrounding community and local businesses. The events severely impact parking in the neighborhood. It is a nuisance. They are causing parking trouble in the surrounding community, not just businesses, but actual residents. No one can park anywhere when these events are happening. One event they're having is next Saturday, November 8th, 1 to 4, advertised as Build Your Own Scarecrow in the back lot, charging $50 per family. The other, Friday, November 14th, 5:30, they're pairing up with a church and hosting family movie night, again, in the back lot. They'll be selling pizza, hot chocolate, drinks for adults, bring your blankets, chairs for the movie, all happening in the back lot. My question is, where are all of these people supposed to park? Since obviously the events are happening in the back lot. And do they have a permit to host these events? And are they required to tell neighbors about the events they're having due to public nuisances such as parking? And really, the bottom line is they opened a coffee shop, not an event center. If they wanted an event center, they should have thought about the parking and the fact that the building they're in does not accommodate event parking, nor does the neighborhood. They should have purchased a building that accommodate parking for the events they plan to host. The neighborhood cannot accommodate the parking for the events Happy Coffee plans to have. They're a coffee shop, not an event center. They have to follow rules just like everyone else in the community in which they claim to serve. Again, it's not about the kids playing in the backyard. They're using the kids as leverage to get what they want, and that's a place to host events that will make money and make the rest of us surrounding businesses suffer by losing money and making parking impossible for our customers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been here 24 years in my existing laundromat business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike Kay, followed by Lois McNichol, followed by Lisa Edone.
I have a short video clip, if you could play that. Mayor, City Council members, I am here with a presentation from about 9:20 p.m., the last City Council meeting, where I was attempting to leave, peacefully walking out, chit-chatting briefly with a reporter. As I went to get into my vehicle, another vehicle swarmed in, preventing my ability to pull out. The car was 100% blocking me intentionally. The occupant was very upset, agitated, angry, and threatening. I asked this person to leave me alone. Said, I don't want to speak to you. He said, you're blocking me, get out of the way, leave me alone. And I said that for about 40 seconds nonstop. When it was obvious this person was agitated and was not going to take no for an answer, I went silent and just let that person rant. This person was out of control, was frightening to me. At one point I looked left and right, looking for an egress to get out of there. There's a police report on file, and it's got the exact language, the verbiage, word for word, that went down. When Zen Wu confronted me, he told me I'm not allowed to talk about China, his country. And then in exchange, he'd leave me alone. I don't know if that's a bribe or a threat, but it's unacceptable. I'm asking City Council to review this incident, to look at the police report, to review the long list of grievances of Zen Wu, who's castigated me for over a year, spied on my teenager. When you parked out in front of my underage girl's house, you looked in her bedroom. A guy who sent an email accused me of being a Muslim terrorist. A guy who's called me a racist and a xenophobe in the press and here in the dais. This has got to stop. This is unacceptable. And I'm asking City Council to take a close look at this, to agendize this, potentially bring in a third party, potentially make a ruling on your own. I think a censor is the very least that needs to happen. I think that the Brown Act established this space as a safe one.
And yeah, it ends when we hit the gravel and we're done for the night. But it's expected that there's a behavior, a civility, a norm that's honored. And certainly that includes the parking lot as we're trying to leave. So please take a look, ask yourself what you think about that. Read the police report. Listen to the grievances that many have.
Thank you.
And go after
Thank
and
you
do the right
very
thing.
much. Next
May-
speaker.
May I?
I did not see the video as I was listening to him. Can we play that video again?
Sure.
I just did not see it, and so, I mean, I was listening and
I
paying
I
think-
can only say it's a
I think the,
review that.
the photos in front, the blue Jeep is mine, the gray car next to it is Mark's. I think the video there is Mr. Wu walking to his car, which is a white Tesla?
That's correct. While we're watching,
Speed up the video a little bit there and,
can I talk while
Sure.
we're
I'd
watching it?
I'd like to just watch a video.
Okay, I'll let you watch the video and respond.
okay.
But you-
Normal speed, yeah. And is that,
Is that you getting into the car with the headlights there?
That's my car.
yeah, that's Mr. Wu's car with the headlights on, it looks like.
Mr. K
That's
was
Mr. K
walking
walking to his
toward
car.
his truck. So by that time, I rolled down my window and,
And blocked him?
well, no, I did not block him.
Let's just watch it for a moment and we'll have a little discussion.
I think it's a mischaracterization. We had a conversation. It lasted about 2 or 3 minutes, or whatever the clock is. And he did not ask me to leave. He did not say, "You're blocking me." We had a 2 to 3 minutes candid conversation, and then I drove away, and that was it. There was no hostility. It's as simple as that. Regarding Mr. K's other allegation, I did not stalk his daughter. I don't recognize his daughter. I did not break into his neighborhood in Cotton Points. In fact, in the entire year of 2024, I was never in that Cotton Points
Let's
neighborhood.
just finish watching the video and then
Yeah,
we'll,
because I'm not paying attention to you right now.
Mr. K was still standing by his
Mr. Wu,
door.
let's just, Councilman's asked to see the video, let's just
Sure.
watch it for a moment. And
Maybe we need to zoom it in.
Okay, did you
Yeah, that's
see
fine,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Let me continue. I did not ask him to not talk about a channel. I said, you can criticize me anything you want, but don't bring this racial stuff to the council meeting. And that's my last word
Okay.
before
All
I
right,
left.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other comments? This isn't time to discuss this, but you wanted to see the video. so
I just wanted to see the video.
Difficult to follow all
Yeah,
this conversation
yeah.
going on. Okay, next public speaker, please.
Lois McNichol, followed by Lisa Adone, followed by Abby Paulson.
First, this is the last day for American citizens to vote. Polling place in San Clemente is located in the San Clemente Community Center, at least one of them. Okta could save millions of taxpayer dollars annually by moving the train tracks inland. And I know they've done feasibility studies, I know they've done all of these things. But they are ruining our beach. Once it's ruined, it's not coming back. No need to place boulders or replenish sand on the beach. So it sounds like a serious long-term plan, and I'm glad somebody talked about the fact that they're at least considering moving the train tracks inland. And more importantly, there are safety concerns, landslides, a healthy roaring ocean, explosive gas lines, and let's not forget the possibility of a tsunami. Public safety and preserving the quality of life is the cornerstone of every government agency and elected official. Raising taxes does not preserve the quality of life. Our tax dollars become revenue for San Clemente, and you will hear more about that at a later date. But make no mistake, your tax dollars are paying for all of this. No government agency or elected official is giving you anything. You are being told by San Czar, who used to work for the Army Corps of Engineers, that dredging is the best sand replenishment process, maybe even the only one that works. You are not being told that dredging is banned in 8 countries because of its harmful effects. Vote with your wallet. Dredging will cost millions annually, ad infinitum, or forever. A debt you will be passing down to your grandchildren unnecessarily. There is a permanent, more economic, and environmentally friendly method that is discounted by both Save the Beaches and Bring Back the Beaches. This process could restore 4.5 miles of beach rather than the teaspoon that ACTA wants us to pay for. The company that makes this product has offered a free demonstration to San Clemente. Build that ice skating rink by the beach that I've heard about for 2 and 3 years, and San Clemente will have more than enough revenue. Involve our neighboring communities. San Juan Capistrano, Dana Point, they will also benefit from the rising tourism. Logistical details, and most importantly, how it will affect neighboring homes, should be the first matter of business. We must have community buy-in.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Lisa Doan, followed by Abby Paulson.
Hi, Council, Mayor, long time no see. I've been watching avidly at home, but I felt compelled to come in person because I feel very passionately about the matter which I'd like to speak to you about tonight. It's about a code of conduct when people enter these hallowed chambers. It's about respecting our city. City council chambers should be a safe space like a church, to my way of thinking. When we think about our First Amendment rights to free speech, those of us that take our time and energy to come speak during public comments should be able to speak our mind and our opinion without fear of repercussions, threats, being shouted down by the audience if there's an unpopular decision or comment or something that a council member did in their own free time that someone doesn't approve of at church, at a community event, at a political event, what have you. This is a nonpartisan environment. Additionally, if I don't like what's said about me, I don't challenge the person because it's a no-win situation. I'm a conservative. In the last 3 weeks, I've been called multiple times a Nazi, a fascist, a xenophobe, and my favorite, a racist. Find a new dictionary. But guess what? I don't fight back. Additionally, there should be no permitting shouting down speakers, discord in the audience. Mayor, I urge you to gavel people down when that occurs. And use Chris Duncan as an example. I didn't agree with everything he said. There are people that are known for coming up and saying things directly to his face, and he sat there stoic and didn't respond. It's inappropriate for a city council member to respond from the dais to a comment that they don't agree with or they don't like. As you said, Mayor, it's not a dialogue. It's a public comment forum, period. Let's show some emotional maturity. I just read this analogy last night about the eagle. The eagle soars. The crow pecks at the eagle, pecks at the eagle, pecks at the eagle. And then the eagle eventually ascends to a height where the crow has to drop off. It can't peck at the eagle anymore. I encourage you all to soar like eagles. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Abby Paulson, followed by Kevin Goatlin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abby, and I am a district representative with Vice Chair Katrina Foley in the Orange County Board of Supervisors. I just want to give a quick update today on what we've been working on at the county. So this morning at our board meeting, we approved on a 4-to-1 vote to adopt a county ordinance regarding illegal encampments and camping on public and Orange County Flood District property. What this means is that the ordinance adds one more resource to our tool belt of supports to address homelessness in Orange County. It strengthens coordination across cities, the county, and our care teams so we can respond consistently and effectively to encampments. We can't arrest our way out of homelessness, but when encampments pose safety threats like open flames in brush areas, living in flood channels, or criminal activity, we must act on it. The ordinance gives Orange County clear legal authority to prohibit and enforce against unpermitted camping and encampments on Orange County Flood Control District property, aligning local policy with recent Supreme Court and federal guidance. The ordinance complements the county's system of care investments, such as the 625-bed shelters, prevention programs, and outreach teams by balancing compassionate services with public safety and ensuring our parks, flood channels, and public spaces remain safe and accessible for all residents. Additionally, the board approved our BESS ordinance. As many of you have probably heard about, there is a battery energy storage system going up in San Juan that is in a high fire risk zone. Battery energy is crucial to the transition to clean energy, but it must be done safely and with the highest standards. We know that we're in a high fire risk zone in much of San Clemente, so our goal with this ordinance is to create safe guidelines that prohibit these potentially flammable sites from coming into our high fire risk zones and putting our community at risk. And that ordinance was passed today. We also unanimously approved an MOU between the county and South Coast Water District for an exploratory task force to power the upcoming Doheny desal plant in San Clemente. We'll use the landfill gas from our landfill to power the Doheny desal plant. It'll save taxpayers a lot of money, and it'll provide 5 million gallons of water daily when it is complete. Lastly, I want to invite you to a couple of events coming up. We have our Veteran of the Year Award next Wednesday on the 12th. It'll be at Heroes Hall in Costa Mesa, and we encourage everyone to nominate a veteran who lives in D5. We know how important they are to our freedom and protecting us, so please nominate somebody online at our website or on our newsletter and social media. We are also kicking off our coat drive. It begins November 13th and runs through December 19th. Here in San Clemente, we will have pickup sites at the Aquatic Center, the library, and the Agewell Dorothy Visser Senior Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Kevin Vogelin?
Good evening. I did not come here tonight planning to speak, but I guess that's what a good wife is for, right? Pushing us to do things. We're speaking on behalf of Happy Coffee Club. I do not know the owners. I've never met them. I'm Kevin.
Yeah.
Good to meet you guys. But we came here to show support because having a place in town that is great for families to be at it's been incredible for us. I understand the parking situation. I'm not here.
Please address the council.
I'm sorry. I understand the parking situation. I'm not here to talk about that. I think we all know parking is tough in our town. It's tough for all businesses. But having a place that encourages families to come, to enjoy their business, to bring their kids, to let their kids run around and let moms and dads be able to sit and enjoy themselves, chat with someone and not worry about, is my kid bugging them because they're being loud? Because everyone in that back lot is doing the same thing. They've got their kids, they're playing, they're having fun. I don't know if any of you have been to River Street in San Juan, but that's what it is. It's families, whether it's happy hour or coffees, it's families letting their kids play, and that's the draw to go there. We don't have something like that in this town. Sure, we have the beach, but we don't have a business where you can go and let your kids just run around and be kids and enjoy quality time together in a cool place. That's what Happy Coffee is bringing to this city. And I think to say that a business can't buy their building and host events because of a lot that's not conducive to parking is pretty absurd. I mean, if you've been back there, there's 2 spots, the entrance is narrow, like they said. There's no way anyone's using that for parking anyways. And so to deny them the ability to have people back there just seems
it seems like a loss to the city. So that's all we wanted to say.
And I would just like to add, I would love to find a solution so their businesses and their businesses can all thrive. And it's not a competition and it's not a war, and everybody can come together and be happy. Happy Coffee Club so they can be happy. So I think to work on a solution is the best thing. We're not rivals. We're coming together, again, as a community, as a city, to do what's best for everyone and find a solution that works for all. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Clerk, is there any other more speakers?
That was all.
Okay. All right, the next item is, I'd like to entertain a motion to waive the reading in full of all resolutions and ordinances. Do I have a motion?
moved, yeah.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. This next item is consideration of any agenda items that require immediate action. Mr. Wu, I believe you
Mayor,
have a
yes,
suggestion?
I'd like to agendize a emergency assistance to local food bank, given the current funding crisis on CalFresh and the resulting immediate impact to thousands of local residents who rely on this program to feed their families.
And you're asking that this evening we have an item
Yes.
addressing emergency assistance of
Yes.
city resources to the nonprofits that are providing
To assist
food?
our local residents through a local food bank, which is
Through
a FAM.
FAM or
FAM,
specifically through FAM?
yes.
Okay. That requires a unanimous vote to,
Mr. Mayor, can I just ask for clarification regarding what the emergency is while I bring up these government code sections?
The emergency is that the SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is a federal program. They lose the funding starting from the beginning of this year. This situation is very fluid. Just today, the latest news is that the federal government is going to use an emergency fund to pay for about half, slightly more than 50% of that.
so we know that that's happening as of November 1st. So
Yes.
that's the emergency you're referring to?
Yes.
Madam City Attorney, is that under the government code, is that an appropriate emergency for agendizing items on the same evening?
It sounds like it came to the attention after the posting of the agenda.
Can I?
Let's hear from the city attorney. If you're still studying, we can have a little discussion. Victor, did you have a comment while she's?
I would say this is all a result of the federal budget not being passed, which has been on the federal docket for a month already. And it's already been known for months. The only way that you're going to get funding is if there's a vote to open up the government that hasn't been had yet. So that could happen at any time. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. But we know until the federal government is open, there's not going to be funding. It's a subject also of federal litigation, which makes it more complicated. And unless we study what what the current federal decision is regarding partial funding and the order of funding, and unless we make a finding regarding what the Trump administration is doing to get that money paid, I mean, it's more complicated. It's a federal issue, not a local issue. And
It is indeed a federal issue. Madam City Attorney?
I recommend the city council make a determination regarding whether this is an emergency as defined by the government code. So you would make two determinations. An emergency situation has to be a work stoppage, crippling activity, or other activity that severely impairs public health, safety, or both, as determined by a majority of the members of the legislative body. So that would be an emergency, and then it would need to come to the attention of the body after the posting of the agenda, and then you would need to make a 2/3 vote that you could add it to the agenda.
Can I ask just a quick question, though? I agree with the sentiment that this is definitely a critical situation. What could the action of the council today, what would that do to mitigate this?
Well, the state is giving $80 million emergency funding to this program to make up the difference, but that's a drop in the bucket. I'm trying to see if the city can do its little share. We can talk about a specific amount once we agendize it, but it's a small amount that we can do to help.
Yeah.
The effect is immediate, so I consider this an emergency. I'm going to make such a motion.
But that requires 4 votes?
You need to determine it's an emergency by a majority and then vote to add it to the agenda by 2/3.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. As Mr. Cabral said, this is an issue that we've known about as coming for a month. It's now in effect for a few days. The Congress hasn't approved a continuing resolution to continue the government or to fund it in any way. The state's funding it. We have local nonprofits that provide funding. I think the issue probably needs to be considered and addressed, rather than considering it tonight with no information on what FAM's availability is, what other churches and other availability is. Would you be opposed to agendizing it at the next meeting for a full discussion?
I wouldn't be opposed. However, FAM director is right here, so she has some information she can share.
Well, we haven't agendized it yet. Well, I guess
Okay.
the question is, could she come, I don't know, I'm just asking my colleagues their thoughts on agendizing this from an emergency point of view.
I can see this being an emergency. I mean, the funding is not there. That was, I mean, yes, we saw the budget crisis coming, but I think a lot of us thought by now it would be resolved. It hasn't been resolved. We couldn't have foreseen that it wouldn't be resolved by this point. So now that we are at this point, we did not adequately prepare for that, and so now we're in this situation. I could see this being an issue that we need to tackle now. So I would be willing to second this.
I don't think it's an emergency. It's been around, this issue's been around for 34 days, I believe, where the funding expired. I mean, at any time during that, Mr. Wu could have raised this issue. The funding hasn't been around since the government shut down. And so it's really not an emergency.
It wasn't known until a couple of days.
Rick's got the floor.
By the definition that the city attorney gave, health and safety, I think this is an issue. I think unfortunately, maybe, I don't want to speak for Mr. Wu, but I think he's been obviously monitoring this very, very closely. And it hasn't, maybe we expected this to be over, and now with recent comments lately, I think this is going to go on for a long time. I wouldn't be opposed to designating this as an emergency.
So is that a third then?
Well, I think we just have to vote, I think.
I move with
Or do you
question.
need a,
Determined emergency, which is a
So-
majority.
right,
And
so-
I think, was that a bifurcated vote?
I would recommend a bifurcated
Okay,
vote
we have
in this
a
situation.
motion, I believe, by Mr. Wu, an emergency. Mark,
I'll
you
second.
seconded it. All in favor of the emergency, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
That passes 3-2 with Mr. Cabral and myself voting no. Regarding agendizing it this evening,
That's
that takes,
standard. That takes a 2/3 vote, and it also requires that there is a need to take immediate action, and the need to take immediate action came to the attention of the local agency before the agenda was posted.
I'm going to make
Can we have the
that.
second part of that again?
I'm sorry, after the agenda was posted. So by a 2/3 vote, that you need to determine that there was a need to take immediate action, and that the need to take immediate action came to your attention after the agenda was posted in
Okay.
order to place it on tonight's agenda.
Okay, thank you. And regarding your
yes.
request, you're requesting that this evening we consider emergency action of contributing a certain amount of money?
Yes.
How much money were you?
I would say 20,000, and I will show how I come up with this number in a minute. But we need to take action. This is my point. Is that the federal
No, I
court.
understand, I understand that. Well, let's stick to the motion. We have a motion to agendize that this evening.
Yes.
That's the question on the floor right now.
Yes.
can I just make a comment? I think I support everything you're saying. I think we know FAM is addressing this right now. I think it would be prudent if you would consider agendizing it for the next meeting so we can, the public can have a chance to come in. We can do
Yeah.
some research also. I mean, maybe 20,000 isn't enough. I mean, I would just rather be prepared to spend taxpayers' money with a couple more weeks.
I will certainly would like to review it in 2 weeks, but this is a very fluid situation, and I think we need to take action.
Okay, I agree with Mr. Leffler. I agree that we need to talk about it and review it, but I think this evening, I'd like to agendize it after we've had a chance to get some more material on it. We've got nonprofits that provide food. We have the state that's providing funding. I'm not sure that it's an emergency that isn't going to be solved, that can't be addressed without our voting on it tonight. I'd like to know what FAM can do. And I know they have a representative here, they can be here in 2 weeks. I'd like to know what the churches in this town are willing to do for the same purpose. So before we spend taxpayer money on something that we're not normally budgeted for, we don't normally do, there's agencies in place to do that exact same thing. So I appreciate your concern, I want to address it, but I think it needs to be agendized so we have some background to consider your request.
Okay, well, thank you.
So you want to?
Well, it doesn't look like I have 4 votes, so I'm going to withdraw that.
So my question is, would you like to agendize that for full discussion when it's agendized, at the end of this meeting for agendizing?
At the end of this meeting, I will try to agendize it for next meeting.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sir. Okay, with that, then I guess the second motion doesn't look like it has 4 votes, so we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is a closed session report by the city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The council met in closed session on item A. Direction was given. There was also a motion that passed 5-0 to authorize council to respond to the petition. They met in closed session on item B. There was direction given and no reportable action. Thank you.
Okay, staff communications, item 7.
We do have one item, Samantha Wiley.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Samantha Wiley, Beaches Parks and Recreation Director. I just am here this evening to inform the council and members of our public that this Saturday at Park Semper Fi, the city, along with its partner, the Heritage of San Clemente Foundation, will be hosting a Veterans Day ceremony. It's Saturday, November 8th at 12 noon at Park Semper Fi at the Marine Monument. Some highlights include guest speakers, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Perry, Commanding Officer of the 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines out of Camp Pendleton. That is San Clemente's adopted Marine unit. And also guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Adam Uncle, Commanding Officer of the 1st Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion out of Camp Pendleton as well. This is a free event, and again, it's sponsored by the Heritage of San Clemente Foundation as well as the City of San Clemente, and we hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I also understand you're going to be giving some remarks there that day.
Yeah, I've been asked to present on behalf of the city council, so I hope as many of you can join me so we can present to
I would
Lieutenant Colonel Perry.
I would also point out that the actual 250th Marine anniversary is on the 10th, Monday the 10th, and that on Tuesday the 11th is the actual Veterans Day. So you got it all covered now.
Could you save me a seat when you go?
Wayne will see.
Okay.
And a parking place.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Samantha. Next item is, any other staff communications? Mr. Interim City Manager? Okay, thank you. Next item is 8, public hearings. This is a public hearing to address the presentation regarding the adoption of our second reading of our municipal code adoptions. This is a public hearing, so I'm going to open the hearing. And gentlemen, do you need a staff report on this? Do you have any public speakers, Madam Clerk?
We do not.
Okay, then I will entertain a motion if the city clerk is willing to read the verbiage of the ordinance for the record.
I'll move it.
Okay, would you read the language for that motion, Madam Clerk?
Yes. Adopt ordinance number 1796 entitled an ordinance of the City Council of the City of San Clemente, California, amending Title 15, Chapters 15.05, 15.08, 15.11, 15.12, 15.14, 15.16, 15.17, 15.18, 15.20, 15.22, 15.23 of and Title 8, Chapter 8.16 of and adding Chapter 15.13 to the San Clemente Municipal Code and adopting by reference the 2025 California Building Standards Code, California Code of Regulations, Title 24, consisting in part of the 2025 California Administrative Code, the 2025 California Building Code, the 2025 California Residential Code, the 2025 California Electrical Code, the 2025 California Mechanical Code, the 2025 California Plumbing Code, the 2025 California Fire Code, the 2025 California Green Building Standards Code, the 2025 California Energy Code, the 2025 California Wildland Urban Interface Code, the 2025 California Historical Building Code, 2025 California Existing Building Code, and the 2025 California Reference Standard Code, together with certain additions, amendments, and deletions thereto, and repealing ordinance number 1738. This also finds that the changes and modifications to the 2025 edition of the California Building Plumbing, Mechanical, Electrical, Residential, Wildland, Urban Interface Code, existing building code, and fire codes are reasonably necessary due to local climatic, geological, or topographical conditions in San Clemente. Other amendments are of an administrative or procedural nature and concern themselves with subjects that are not covered by the code or are reasonably necessary to safeguard life and property within the city of San Clemente. Adoption of these codes as amended will implement the latest codes in the city and complies with the state law and repeals ordinance number 1738 and sets the effective date of ordinance number 1796 to January 1st, 2026.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing, and with that motion, which the clerk just read,
Yeah, I'm
do we have a
moving that.
second?
I'll second, but I just want to make sure, Robert Ferguson, was that correct after 15.22? Was all correct? Okay, then I will second that.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item is item 8B, and I understand that's going to be continued. Is there any public speakers on that item?
There are not.
Okay, then that item is going to be continued until...
Mr. Mayor, could you open the public hearing, please?
The public hearing for my item 8B, an overview of the Mills Act program and consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a historic property preservation agreement for a qualified historic property at 121 West Escalones. That public hearing's open. I understand the applicant has requested a continuance. So with that, we don't,
And just one clarification, we are requesting a continuance to the November 18th meeting.
to the November
specifically.
18th meeting, okay? I'll make a motion, we continue that item to, no, I'll close the public hearing, thank you, and ask.
I'll make the
Mr.
motion.
Mr. Mayor, if you are going to continue it, you want to leave the public hearing open and continue it to a date certain?
That, Madam Clerk, Madam City Attorney, is an excellent idea. We'll leave the public hearing open, and we'll continue this matter to the November 18th meeting. That's my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All seconded by Mr. Cabral. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously. Thank you, Adam. The next item, 8C, public hearing consideration of a resolution 25-150 establishing fees for play upon the San Clemente Municipal Golf Course, repealing and replacing Resolution 2302 and Resolution 25-187, establishing certain operating standards and regulations for play upon the municipal golf course, and repealing Resolution 20-71. So with that, this public hearing will be opened, and let's hear from staff on this matter.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for your time this evening. I'm Samantha Wiley, Beaches Parks and Recreation Director. As we know, this evening is a continuation of a former public hearing that we saw last month, and this is regarding fees for play upon the municipal golf course. Based on Council's direction at its previous meeting, staff have come back with proposed increases to the non-resident or standard rate at the municipal golf course. There were a handful of courses that were taken into consideration when we looked at comparable courses. On the screen here, you'll see those courses that we looked at, and I want to be clear that this is just municipal courses. There are a whole listing of comparable public courses but are privately operated as well. Based on this, the staff recommendation is to take the average of those municipal courses. That first line in orange you'll see is our current rate. The proposed line is the average municipal comps, and this is just specific to the non-resident. This is not the resident. I do want to note, though, again, based on council direction, we've maintained low rates considerably below the average resident rate for municipal courses. So this is the proposed rates for the standard or non-resident, non-member golfers at the municipal course. You can see it's anywhere from $13 to $22 an hour or per round increases.
And then I will move to the next one, and this is the resident rate. There are no changes in this proposal based on the last consideration of the item. That was brief, but I'm happy to take any questions if there are any from the council.
Any questions before we hear from the public?
No.
Okay, public speakers.
May I?
I'm sorry, was there a question, Mr. Wu?
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
have a question. Samantha, if the council were to take your recommendation, how many full-time employees do you plan to hire? Oh, I'm sorry. This is for the fee only. So never mind. Okay, we're going to wait for the.
Okay, no other questions? Let's hear from the public.
Mike Lambert?
How many speakers do we have, Madam Clerk?
Just one for this item. There's several for the next item related to golf operations.
My name is Mike Lambert. I am a resident of San Clemente. I am a golfer. This morning I got up at 5:55, and after I went to the bathroom and took my thyroid pill, I went onto my cell phone and logged into the San Clemente Municipal Golf Course Tee Time program. I waited for the clock to kick to 6:00, and then I punched in a particular area of time, midday, and searched for a tee time within the 10 o'clock range. Getting the 10:48 tee time. And then asked me how I was going to pay, how many people there were we going to require a cart. All of this took 1 minute. And after that, it asked if you want to get any more tee times. Did it click here? I clicked there. Every tee time was gone. Every single tee time that was available for that day was already taken. Now, the reason I bring this up is that if you're getting 100,000 players a year and 90,000 of them are locals or members, card-holding members of San Clemente, then the other 10,000 are friends and relatives of those people because all the tee times are gone. So it seems to me to raise the outside fees by 40 to 60% or 50 to 70 is maybe a little punitive, and that to raise the fee for the residents might be a better way to look for some of that revenue that you're trying to get. From October 7th until this date, the budget went from $309,000 to $569,000. The entire $160,000 is coming from outside players. That's okay with me. I live here. I can still play, and I can play for not a lot of money. But I can afford an extra $2 to bring my friends along from time to time. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Any other public speakers?
No.
I'm just wondering if you could change that screen to the one that shows the rates and the recommended.
Madam Clerk, could you put the screen back? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
One that compare
No, if there's no other speakers, I'd like to.
No more speaker cards, so questions.
Yeah, I would just say, to the issue of raising rates for locals, I think the city council will be looking at that real soon, and as we get to the point of figuring out what the plan is and the program is, and developing our program and the changes to the course. And I think it's in February, March, and I'm going to let our Parks and Recreation talk about that. But I think we will be looking at it. I think we're going to need to raise revenue. I think in the interim, for the next 3, 4, 5 months, we're not looking at raising rates for local residents as directed by the city council, but I think it will be coming soon. So for those that are thinking about, and that depends on what the different committees think and what the city council thinks. But
And do you have a motion so that we can
Well,
discuss?
wait, can I ask a question for clarification? Because
Yes.
well, let me finish though.
Well,
'cause-
okay, I'll let you finish, but what I'd like to do, rather than opining, we've had a staff report, it's time for questions, and if not, what I'd like to do is entertain a motion that then we can discuss the motion. Otherwise, because what we've done historically is we've all kind of weighed in, had a discussion, we've had a motion, and then we've discussed it again. So what I'd like to do is
Do it once.
The questions for staff, have a motion, then we can discuss that motion, which so that we avoid rehashing the issue, is what I'd like to do.
I like that. That's the right way to do it.
Okay, so
I
questions
would
of
move,
staff.
I would actually move this item then.
Well, I think we have a question of staff.
I do.
Okay, go right ahead.
Is that okay?
Well, no,
That is okay. You have the floor.
Well, I did have I asked a question in that. I asked her to opine on whether we would be looking at raising rates in the near future for residents.
So another rate increase or evaluation of rates would be considered through the master plan update that Councilmember Cabral is referring to. That is still in the works. We have not finalized the master plan. Obviously, it hasn't come to City Council either. And ahead of it getting to City Council, we do need to do some environmental review on that as well. So I anticipate that coming to Council in probably April of 2026. And part of that would be an understanding and overview of how we can continue to upkeep with the increases that are upon us. I want the council to be aware that there are some substantial capital projects that need to be completed at the golf course that are critical to the infrastructure of the golf course, and part of that will be included in the fee analysis coming forward as well.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
And you have a question, Mr. Leffler?
Yeah, page 3 of 4 of the staff report. What's this chart that I thought we were raising rates? It shows very clearly junior rates, no change, and it says membership residents only with a card, $60 to $70, 18-hole weekday, $25 to $28. Isn't that a $3 increase?
Yes, that is an increase.
So we are increasing rates for residents at this time. With my understanding.
Yes, but I was bringing the point that we may be evaluating this all again.
Raising them more.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Recover costs.
Okay, I was just confused. I thought we weren't raising the rates, but we are minimally anywhere between $2 and $3 basically around under this motion. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions of
Yes,
staff? Mark?
just one other question. So you'll be bringing it back possibly April. Is there any plans after that to have an annual review or biannual review of these rates so that we're not waiting another 15 years before we do this again?
Absolutely. That's a critical piece of the master plan and our financial stability of the course going forward as well. Staff would recommend at that time a set policy that dictates the frequency by which we increase rates and some markers that would indicate how we should go about doing that. And that hopefully going forward can be included in the annual budget review or the biennial budget.
Great, thank you.
I'm going
Questions of staff?
no,
Mr.
I'm going to
Moore?
second this motion because
I'm sorry, did you have a question of staff?
I don't have
Okay,
questions.
then I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll move the item 8C.
I second it. I think this is consistent with the last council's direction.
Directions, yeah.
Okay, that's items 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. The next item is item 8. I'm sorry. Where are we at here? Item 9A, unfinished business, consideration of operational options for the San Clemente Municipal Course Pro Shop and associated services. We have a staff report on this?
I have a very brief staff report. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Samantha Wiley, Beaches Parks and Recreation Director. This evening's item is a recommended operating model for the San Clemente Municipal Golf Course as our current agreement with our longtime operator comes to an end on December 31st, 2026. This is a returning item to the council, so you have some background from a previous meeting. I want to reiterate that the goal this evening is to ensure continued high-quality services to the golf community while also continuing to evaluate and maintain long-term operational stability within the course. I think it goes without saying, we all value our golf community immensely, and it is a cherished treasure for the community, even if you don't golf. The Muni serves a certain place and holds a lot of memories and sentiment for many of our community members. The recommendation before you this evening on staff side is rooted in the stewardship of the public facility going forward. The rationale for the model proposed, and just to summarize, we're looking at, there's essentially 6 service areas within the golf course, and that's in the staff report. The rationale is based on market analysis, best practice review, and the financial stability and evaluation going forward. The staff recommendation includes the municipal management of the starter operations. That includes the management of the tee sheets or tee times, tournaments, as well as the resident card holder memberships and private cart operations. It also recommends transitioning the operations of the driving range to city management as well under that same starter operations, and moving the current lessons that are instructed, private lessons, group lessons, and camps, transitioning that to an independent contract instructor model where there would be a 70-30 split. Staff feel that this model ensures transparent financial oversight and consistency in customer service and pricing, while continuing to monitor compliance and minimizing our liabilities through insurance as much as possible. It also gives some flexibility to adapt with programming needs and as the golf climate and industry evolves. I want to ensure the council and the public that this option before you ensures continuity of services. The golf course would continue to be open during the transition with city staff as they're hired, working alongside the existing operator for a smooth transition. To that same extent, the other side of this, there's 3 other areas of service under consideration. Staff are recommending those go out to RFP, where we would seek an independent operator who can provide services for golf cart rentals, equipment repairs, rentals, and retail sales. That operator would work alongside the golf starter, which would be a city employee under this recommendation, and would continue to preserve the culture and the important environment of the golf course. I want to also reiterate that under this model, anybody existing at the golf course now who may be a staff member or an employee could certainly apply to be a city employee, either through the starter office. On the other side of that, any existing employee or even the current operator could participate in the RFP process as well. It doesn't preclude them from not being included. That would be an open proposal process and open publicly as well. I'm happy to take any questions if there are any, but I know that there are speaker cards as well.
Any questions of staff?
Do you want to
before
do
we hear from the public?
speakers first, us,
Yeah, I'd like
or?
to hear unless you have questions of staff.
I do have questions of
Oh,
staff,
go right
but
ahead.
you want to do that? Okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I did have a question about the golf lessons. It shows here that we make about $870 as the city for golf lessons.
That's what our numbers reflect.
And what is that,
That's
monthly, daily?
would be annually, is our
Annually, so
understanding.
about $72 a month?
Yes, that's a 90-10 split based on what's recorded.
So we run programs like that for golf, not necessarily for golf, but for other programs. And are we able to make a profit on those programs?
Yes.
And give me an example of something we would run and what that would be. Do you think we can make more than $72 a month?
Yes, as independent contractors, those contractors would set their own fees. That is their liberty as an independent contractor, and we would have a variety of contractors teaching a variety of lessons. We want to make sure that we're fair and equitable, and we have an instructor for everybody's need and skill level. A comparable model would be probably our surf lessons that we offer year round. We have private surf lessons, we have semi-private surf lessons, we have groups, we have camps. There's a number of different options you can go and look for. And that would be the same model here as well. You can purchase a package of group lessons, and then you would schedule with the pro or the instructor that you've purchased with. You would schedule on their time and your time to make sure you have a lesson that works for your
And
schedule.
anyone would be eligible to give lessons that is a professional, I guess.
Yes, it would be an application process. They would have to have a business license, they have to carry insurance, and they have to be live scanned and background checked.
Including our current givers of lessons, they'd be
Absolutely.
eligible too.
Yes,
Okay.
it would be an open application process.
Okay.
Any other questions? Rick, go ahead.
So is other recreation programs like pickleball or surf or yoga, whatever, is it usually like a 90-10? Is that,
The standard independent contractor split is 70-30. In some scenarios where there is a business that's offering classes through the city, but they own their own private business, that's an 80-20. So they get a different split based on the use of their own private facility. But it is standard within recreation to do 70-30.
I want to clarify because it sounds like Victor wants to give some golf lessons, I think.
Well, I do, yeah. No, no, I did, if you're done, I have another thing. I just also want to know about the funds. That money that comes back to the city and whatever we would earn, if it's more than the $72 a month, that would go only for the golf course and to the
100%,
enterprise fund.
that's
So we
correct.
could do the sands, we could pay people, staff more money. It all goes and stays with the golf course, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions of staff before we hear from the public?
Just one,
Mark, go ahead.
one question for you. This model, what did you base this model off of? Other municipal golf courses? Could you just speak to that a little bit?
Sure. There are other municipal courses that manage their own pro shop operations in-house, 100%. This model is intended to find some level of compromise, acknowledging that there is a want and a desire from our local community to continue to see an outside operator fulfill some level of service within the golf shop. The idea behind putting out an RFP for carts specifically, that is really where a majority of revenue would come from for an outside operator. And the rental of electric and pull carts would be set at their own price. And very similar to today, we would do our existing model, we would do an RFP for a split of that. And at the same time, I'm happy to do through that RFP process, it's a professional services agreement potentially, or a license agreement. And we would want to make sure that we are getting quality. We're happy to entertain some level of local knowledge and skill set. That would be important through the process as well.
I think my wonderful information. I think my question is this comparable to other cities and other municipal golf courses? Is this like Torrey Pines? Is this, what other cities operate? the same?
Torrey Pines is run in-house, and there are other municipal golf courses that also run in-house as well. In the city of Los Angeles, all of their golf courses are managed in-house, and that is 100%, including carts and all of that. But that's kind of, we are recommending a kind of varied model tonight.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions of staff? Mr.
Yes,
Wu?
Mayor. Samantha, so if we're going to transition the start operations and the driving range to in-house, how many full-time employees do you expect to hire to cover this operation?
Full-time employees, we would be looking at 1.75. That would be a three-quarter employee and one full-time employee, and that would be filled in with hourly employees outside of that in support of those employees.
How much would be the hourly employees?
How many?
Or full-time equivalent?
So we hire part-time employees a little bit differently than full-time. We don't have a set number of employees that we hire. We don't cap it. We look to have enough employees to ensure continual service. For example, there are 200 hourly staff within BPR right now,
Okay.
recreation leaders, pool lifeguards. We don't have 200 employees working currently. They fill in as they come seasonally home from college, things like that. So we always intend to have enough hourly staff. Marshals are another example of that. We have marshals, golf marshals right now, and there's 12 of them.
Well, 40 hours per week is a one full-time equivalent. How many hours do you need from part-time employees?
I'd have to get that number specifically. I might have it. The golf
ballpark
course
amount.
does vary in hours of operation, so it's not a set, it's not an 8 to 5. It's going to change seasonally
Okay.
based on the sunrise and
Do you have a
sunset.
ballpark range?
I'm looking at, I believe that's about, I would say 2,000 hours, an hourly staff. That could go down, but that's my very rough
2,000
estimate.
hours per year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What would be the personnel cost for the 1.75 full-time employees, given the level of their position?
I can't give you a specific number at this point because we'd
Range.
have to look at the salary schedule. And
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable stating a specific salary at this point.
Okay. So you're saying that since we're not giving away any green fees in the start operations, but we only take 75%. No, we only take 25% from driving range. So the transition will get us the other 75 from the driving range, which is equivalent to 170,000 of revenue. And that would be enough to cover these employees.
That's correct.
Okay. At the same time, I would expect that the percentage given to a operator would drop because they don't have to do the work on the start operation and the driving range. Is that reasonable expectation?
That would not potentially on carts. I will say, I think our current operator has taken on the management of the T-sheet in exchange for some other changes within the percentages.
Okay.
The 25%, which is where the cart's at, is I think reasonable.
It's 35% now.
but-
Okay.
What's that?
It's 35% now.
Yeah, I would say it needs to be between 25 and 35%. That 35% has increased year over year in the last probably couple of amendments that we've had.
Thank you.
Any other questions
Yeah,
of
I did.
staff?
So essentially, though, if this went out for bid, I guess someone could come in and say, I can do it for a certain percentage. Is that how that will run?
For carts?
For carts, for example, yeah.
I would recommend we go out to RFP with a set recommendation of the percentage split.
And then evaluate the quality of.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Correct, the quality of the
Any
proposal.
other questions of staff?
No.
Let's hear from the public.
Okay, I'll call the first few speakers. James Kemp, followed by Penny Buff, followed by Tim Murphy, followed by Rick Dival.
How many speakers do we have?
Good question. How many speakers do we have?
Good evening, City Council. My name's James Kemp. I'm a resident of San Clemente for 28 years and a regular golfer at the San Clemente Muni. I'm here to oppose the city's plan to take over operations provided by Dave Cook's Pro Shop. A government-managed program never operates efficiently or less expensively than one managed by businesses in the private sector. The government-managed programs always end up costing more and provide less, and the planned takeover of the pro shop services, the starting services, the range fees, the golf instructions, will result in no more than $182,000 of possible revenue growth for the golf course fund, which would be more than offset by the required new city employee costs. One of the reasons given for the city's plan to take over pro shop operations is the California Surplus Land Act, but the SLA does not apply unless the city is planning to abandon the muni and close it down. And a 5-year contract for pro shop management is not included in the SLA scope. Dave Cook's staff continues to provide excellent service to golfers that play the muni. His operation offers services above and beyond that typical of a government-run operation. For example, when COVID hit, Dave Cook made the decision to offer separate golf carts to any individual that requested without additional fees. I believe Dave Cook's business absorbed the extra costs incurred. There were many months when the course had 4 carts per foursome. Dave's operation still offers this choice to any golfer that requests a separate cart with no additional charge. I polled the neighboring golf courses and found that all charge a fee from $20 to $60 extra for a separate cart. A privately run business doesn't require approval to grant this sort of amenity to its customers, and I doubt the city-run operation would have been so generous. Dave's Pro Shop is a perfect example of a private business responding to customers' needs quickly, and the city benefited from Dave's generosity. That should be given some weight, and the city council considers this matter. The personal services provided by Dave Cook staff is evident to regular golf users. There are many times when Dave provides complimentary tokens for the driving range to regular customers. Another example of goodwill provided by a private business, and the city shares in the repeat business that it creates. I think it is also a good time to remind this council about operations handled by Dave Cook's staff before COVID.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll give you a written copy of my comments, but I think that it's time that.
You could circulate the memo.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Penny Buff, followed by Tim Murphy, followed by Rick Dybel, followed by Mark Repowitz.
Hi, my name is Penny Buff, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all. I am a member of the Ladies Women's Golf Club at San Clemente, been a member for 14 years. I'm a former retired Capistrano Unified School District teacher. I taught my last 14 years at the San Clemente elementary schools in the city. I also have a history with San Clemente in that I was a lifeguard and swim instructor for Ole Hansen Beach Club for 10 years. I taught Dave Cook's kids how to swim. This is a very tight-knit community, and I'd like to invite or encourage the City Council to table this decision until they have an opportunity to listen to what the Municipal Golf Committee members have to say. They represent the golfers. Once again, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to talk, and I encourage you to put the staff of the golf course ahead of the city's profits. It's not as easy as you think to just run a golf course. It takes a lot of knowledge and skill, and you're going to have a staff that's going to be following an expert management team at the municipal golf course. As a former teacher, I can't imagine thinking maybe it'd be a better idea to just contract out those teachers so that maybe whoever has the lowest bid to teach art or science or health should be one of our teachers. I think we should think more of the public in San Clemente. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Tim Murphy, followed by Rick Dybel.
Yes. First off, I appreciate the time that you're giving me to talk. I'm here to talk about the golf course as a golfer. I've been here 25, 26 years. Dave Cook's group is fantastic. You have the right group in the right place to do the right job. It seems like you're taking a lot of energy and expertise on the city side to reevaluate something that's not broken whatsoever. I think you mentioned you were at the golf course the other day and the restaurant came up, but nothing about the golf experience. Everybody loves the golf experience. I think what you're missing is you have a gem right in front of you. You're going to spend all kinds of money trying to understand how to run the golf course. Take a look at how it's been done for years and years and years. So my message to you is to let Dave Cook cook, right? It's time to it's time to acknowledge that you have the right expertise in place. All you need to do is renegotiate your deal with Dave or whatever you need to do to get to where you want to get. Tearing that whole thing out and bringing a whole new group in is not a solution to a problem that you haven't identified. If you've identified a problem at the golf course, then I think this all makes some sense, but I don't see that there's a problem, especially from the golfer side. So you've got a very unique municipal golf course, unlike all the other golf courses on your list. You have the charm of San Clemente at hand here, and it has to do with how the thing has been run all this time. Rearrange your deal so that you get the right profitability. Stop spending money on allocating things. Talk to the golfers. The course doesn't need to be redesigned. It's a fantastic course. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Speaker?
Rick Dybel, followed by Mark Refowitz, followed by Mandy Hamilton, followed by Matt Gaben.
For the record, Rick Dybel, 80-year resident. I've been through 3 golf professionals. I started playing the Muni in 1956 under Bill Mast, who did a wonderful job, and then under Dave's father, Alan Cook, what a great man he was. And then right up to the moment with Dave. Now, Dave put together a fantastic staff. I don't know that if it went to the city, that can be done. I'm a little crazy on the golf lessons because I'm a former PGA professional and have given hundreds of lessons, and we kept everything. That was survival. That was a way to live. But the fact that you'd want to take 30% off of an instructor's lessons cracks me up, and it doesn't make any sense to me. The other thing was what's Dave's done through the years and donating and helping the men's club with things. He's always there for them, and they just do a fantastic job of getting everybody out on the course. Whether you have to stay on a waiting list for a half hour or an hour, but he does get you out. So I just don't think the option for the city taking it over is a way to go. And as I said, I wouldn't want the city to come in and just, you give lessons. It has to be done by a PGA professional or the tutelage under a PGA professional. It makes no sense to have somebody wandering off the street, sign some papers and say, yeah, I'm rated here and I can do this, but they really can't. So I would love to see, I know by law it's got to go out to the RFP, but you have to give them a chance to do it that way, in my opinion. But thanks for you guys giving us the opportunity to voice our opinions. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Next speaker.
Mark Refowitz.
Mayor Knobloch, City Council, longtime San Clemente resident, golfer. My last city council meeting was in 2004 when I was appointed by the then city council to the city's golf course committee. And at that period of time, we were going through rebuilding the clubhouse and making some major changes, and it might have been the last time, I think, when you did an RFP. So I want to be clear, as another speaker has just said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's not broken. I'm very satisfied with the way that things are working. However, as the mayor knows, I'm not anti-government and government doing things. I am your retired director of the county's healthcare agency. I retired in 2017. I had 3,000 plus employees and almost $800 million budget there. And the mayor and I served together on the Cal Optimal board where we had 1,000 employees, but our model used the private sector. All the medical groups, the hospitals, et cetera. The services were provided by the private sector. So I am not anti-government, but I am pro-private sector. And that's, again, it's not broken, so please, you don't need to fix it. And I'd like to make a recommendation. If you adopt the staff's recommendation, you're losing all your creativity for your request for proposal. And believe me, I've been through hundreds and hundreds of government RFPs. I think that you should, if you have not RFP'd, it's prudent and it's your duty as for the city to make sure that you procure it in the best light possible. However, you've already made a decision. You've allowed for no creativity for the private sector to make proposals to you. And I don't agree with the staff recommendation to set the fees. A wise attorney, my daughter, once told me that a signed contract is just the beginning of a meaningful negotiation. So, with the wisdom of my youngest daughter, and the sentiment that's already been expressed, it's not broken, don't fix it. I was a golf course committee member. I love this community. That's why I joined the golf course committee back in 2004 to 2006. We accomplished our task, and it was time to move on and go back to work. So again, thank you for the opportunity to speak. The staff who work at the golf course, the teachers who are there, they do a wonderful job. It's not broken. Please don't break it unnecessarily. If you break it, you own it.
Thank you, Mark. Next speaker.
Andy Hamilton, followed by Matt Gaben, followed by Andrew Gahan.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Mandy Hamilton. I'm the Vice Chair of the Golf Course Committee and a past President of the Ladies Golf Club. I'm here to share my thoughts, of course, on this item. I'm not sure why a matter of this importance would not have been brought to the full Golf Course Committee prior to coming to the City Council. We're an advisory board to you, and I would think our input would have been helpful to you to make this decision, not just relying on city management. In the past, the golf course duties were split, but the process was laborious, labour-intensive and inefficient, and that's why it was consolidated. Dave Cook's organisation makes running the golf course look easy. And that's because of years invested in staffing appropriately, managing a course open from dawn to dusk, 365 days a year, handling 114,000 rounds of golf annually, plus thousands more inquiries, requests, complaints, sales, all with very few complaints to the city. Perhaps because of this, the city feels it can cut and paste some specific tasks from the function, but is it to make it more profitable or more accountable or more efficient? It doesn't seem to do any of these things. Take the tea times. The biggest complaint from residents is getting a tea time. The city manages that function, not the pro shop. Next complaint is the marshals. They're not on the course, they're not managing the golfers, they're not visible to the golfers. Again, the city manages the marshals. How about dogs and people walking on the golf course and e-bikes destroying the greens? All the responsibility of the city. So how well are these issues being managed by the city right now before giving the city more golf course responsibilities? I'm told there are issues with background checks on the golf instructors, concerns that lessons are not being paid for properly, you don't like the quality of balls on the golf range. Well, as someone else said, address these issues in the contract. It's up for renewal. Put the items that you're concerned about on the contract. And thank you. And don't take functions over when you have absolutely no experience of managing these areas. My recommendation is to put the whole service out to bid, and if the city wants to bid on it, go ahead. Add your bid to everyone else. Let Dave Cook bid, let whoever you want bid, then make the best bid win. And one more thing, the advanced booking suggestion that you have in front of you is allowing pre-booking for an additional fee. And this has been suggested before and declined. And the reason why is it removes even more precious tea times from the residents who are not pre-booking and are trying to get a tea time. They won't have visibility of those pre-booking times, so when they go on at 6 a.m. in the morning, they can't get on. Please do not do it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
Matt Gahan, followed by Andrew Gahan, followed by Nick Azzolini.
Good evening, Council. My name is Matt Gann. I've been a resident of San Clemente for about 40 years now, and for about just as long I've been going to the golf course. My grandparents lived in the condos just closer to the ocean from that, and my grandfather would take me over to Bogey's for breakfasts, and some of my greatest memories are at the course. I heard the word stewardship brought up earlier, and I can't see any greater stewardship for the course than Dave Cook and his staff, and before that, Alan. Every time I've gone to the golf course and knocked on the door or just walked in, it's been open, even at 6 a.m. in the morning. There hasn't been a single time that I've walked in and couldn't get in. I've always been able to get my clubs regripped whenever I wanted, if I needed to. I legitimately have zero complaints in 40 years of Dave Cook operating the golf course. I can't say the same for the areas of the course that the city is currently responsible for. There are definitely some improvements over the past month or so on the greens. The greens have gotten very good. Some of the other areas of the course are really good. But in all of the courses that were listed on the chart up there, I can't imagine you would go to a single one and only have one hole punched on the putting green to practice. It's mind-boggling to me, and it shows a complete lack of stewardship and a lack of basic understanding of what a course needs. We don't alternate our pin locations like you're supposed to. It just shows like a basic understanding of what it takes to run a golf course. And I don't mean to be rude to anyone, and I don't mean to be confrontational, but I've never been this frustrated with a proposal in my 40 years in this town. This is the first time I've ever felt the need to come to a city council meeting. I feel so strongly that Dave Cook is really the best option for the course, for the residents of this city. I don't think it could be done any better, and I urge you not to accept this proposal. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew Gann, followed by Nick Gazzolini, followed by Rick Tate.
If you hear your name called, we have some seats in front if you want to come up and save some time, so.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening.
My name's Andrew Gann. That was my brother who just spoke. I'm a couple years younger than him, so I only have a couple years less time in this city, but I am a lifelong resident. And like him, I have spent a ton of my time at the golf course. I read through this proposal. It's supposed to be comprehensive. It was following the August meeting where it was decided that there would be a comprehensive report on this proposal. I do not think this is comprehensive. I think there's one thing in this report that got it right, and I'm going to read it. It's the first paragraph in the background. It says, "The city has contracted the golf pro shop and instructional services at the municipal golf course with Dave Cook since about 1987. Prior to that, the pro shop was operated by Alan Cook, who operated the shop as the first pro shop operator at the municipal golf course when the back nine opened for public play." So what that tells you is that since this golf course has been an 18-hole golf course back to the 50s, the Cook family has been a part of the operations. I heard something said earlier that this new plan and this proposal would ensure a continuity of services, but I could not disagree more, that this plan will only disrupt that continuity of services that the residents of San Clemente have enjoyed and appreciated over the last however many years, since it's been an 18-hole course. Like others have pointed out, there have been a number of items that have been either directly operated by the city or the city's decisions have led to portions of the golf course to be less fun, less enjoyable, and less usable. Most notably, the restaurant. The restaurant used to be a place where, like my brother mentioned, kids could go with their grandparents to have breakfast. There used to be 3 putting greens surrounding, the restaurant where everybody would hang out, and it felt like a community center. Now you can't even go and have a bite to eat after your round on the weekend. I would be surprised if there wasn't a wedding every night of the week, but I don't make it down there every night, so I can't say that for sure. This proposal to me seems like the first domino in making the golf course as a whole an entire restaurant debacle. So I urge you, do not adopt this resolution, and please give much more consideration and That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker?
Nick Azzolini, followed by Rick Tate, followed by Alan Oswald.
Hello, I'm Rick Talt. I've been a member of the Men's Club now for over 20 years. Like Rick Dival and myself, we've been PGA members for many years. I used to operate a golf operation, very large golf operation, a lot of players, and so I'm very familiar with what works and what doesn't work. And what's being proposed here is good intentions, possibly, but it's not going to work. You need private people in there that know their stuff, like Dave Cook and his staff. They've done a great job. They continue to do a great job. And if there needs to be negotiations done in their contract, so be it. That's where it can be improved and make improvements for the city. But at this point, it does not make any sense to have someone who's the city who really doesn't have the expertise and running a golf operation. PGA professionals like Dave Cook do have this expertise and have their ability to, well, they don't need it to get to find a solution to an issue. It looks to me like he runs a very smooth operation, and I'm very happy with what he does and his staff, and I urge you not to consider that proposal and go that way. Just renegotiate a contract to your liking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker?
Alan Oswald, followed by Karen Yoshihara, followed by Dave Cook.
Hello, fellow council members and staff. Alan Oswald, I've been here for 30 years, come from a small town in Iowa, and love it out here. Iowa's a great place to visit and to be from, but I really endear it out here. First of all, to start off with the staff report, the first line, I think, says current success of the golf course, and that's a reason. It's basically because of the staffing that's there, the people that work there. They're a family. It's a relationship. Golf is a relationship with the people that play and the staff that work there. I think it'd be very difficult for the city to take over, a small city, to take over an operation like this. They reference San Diego, they referenced LA, they all do in-house management, but those are big cities. They can afford to have the people there to do the job. They can pay the people to do it, and it's a long-standing operation for them as well. So this is something brand new for a small town, small city to take on. The learning curve is going to be very big, I believe. Either that or it's going to be very costly for the people that they have under contract. Dave, Vinny, Linda, Rocky, Chris, all local residents. This is a local business. Local residents, this is going toward the city. This is going to potentially take them out of a job for, it's going to eliminate a local business here. For the city to take this stuff on for the revenue that they talk about, the item we just previously had, item 8C, you're talking about a significant increase in revenue. The purpose of this seems to be to increase revenue. So this is, doesn't take into account the additional revenue from the fee increase. And if you're looking for that, you've got it all right in the fee increases. The marginal increase we're going to get from this, I think, is not worth the headache it's going to be. It's not worth the turnover, the instability of this. And they talk about, you're talking about going to regional, national vendors potentially. That they do run them all over the country, and that's what their job is. But if you'll see with them that they'll start off good, and over time the service deteriorates. You hear, for example, American Golf. I have not heard a lot of good things coming from courses that run American Golf, other than those that just picked it up. Everybody's glad with them. 5-10 years down the road, they suck. It's just complaints. So, and that's what you're going to get if you start contracting out. See. Thank you very much.
Karen Yoshihara, followed by David Cook, followed by Don Brown.
My name is Karen Yoshihara, and I'm here to let you know my opposition to this resolution that you're considering. My question to you, I guess, is have you taken the time to adequately investigate the ramifications, all of the ramifications of turning over the operation of the golf course to the city? I know of companies who have made decisions based primarily on profit or saving considerations without doing the adequate research and relying primarily on staff recommendations. But I think that oftentimes they come to regret those decisions for various reasons. Let's see. My question is, have you consulted with all of the other groups that would be affected by any change that you make? And I'm thinking primarily, I know you mentioned you talked to San Clemente residents, but maybe all of you could take the time to question more residents about it. I'm also a member of the San Clemente Women's Club, and I don't think we were ever consulted about how we feel about this change. And I know Mandy mentioned that the golf course committee wasn't even consulted about it for their recommendations. And especially, maybe talk to Dave Cook, find out how it would affect him and how he thinks that the city, what problems that they might encounter that he could perhaps address. So I think you should, consult him. He was my very first golf instructor. That was 40 years ago. And I've been playing San Clemente for the last 40 years. So I know that Dave Cook has the experience to run this golf course, and he has such a good rapport with all of the San Clemente residents that I think you ought to take that into consideration also. So thank you, and I hope that you all take the time to do a little bit more research about what this is going to entail for all the residents of San Clemente. Thank you for your time.
Dave Cook, followed by Don Brown.
Hello, Council. My name's Dave Cook. I think everybody thought I was going to retire, and I know I'm getting up there in age, but I'd like to stick around a little longer if I could. I'm flattered by all the compliments tonight. It's just pretty unbelievable. I'm kind of choked up just listening to everybody compliment it, but I just basically would like the opportunity to, extend my contract or put the RFP in. So I've got a good professional staff right now. They make me look good, which is nice. So that's half the battle. But at any rate, I'll keep it brief, but anyway, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Don Brown is the final speaker.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I'm here also to voice support for Dave Cook's operation. I think little Samantha runs a heck of a beach and parks and rec organization. I think the golf maintenance guys do a great job over there as well as their staff. It's a great muni. As far as a starter shop is concerned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I agree. You've heard that probably 25 times tonight. Process. This issue was not agendized to the golf committee in August when I appeared before you guys when it first came up. The men's club wasn't there that night. I guess they're here tonight. I don't know if their board is. Some of the ladies are. But it wasn't agendized with the golf committee meeting last August. It's not, the next golf committee meeting is this coming Thursday. It's not really on their agenda there. If you got a golf committee, use them. If not, dissolve it. What do you have them for? So use the golf committee, the people you've appointed who are golf experts, to come up with community consensus and come forward with a recommendation to the council. That's what you got them for. So that's one issue. I think there's a subcommittee going to be appointed by them on their agenda this coming Thursday, but it hasn't been agendized yet per se. Other items, expected revenue probably won't cover the expected expenses. Mr. Cook's employees have been with him for a long time. There are 2 starters there at 5:30 in the morning and all the way through the afternoon, times X amount of times. That's a lot of employees, times X amount per week. That's a lot of people. He pays them pretty well because they've stayed with him for a long time. I don't know what their salaries are. It's probably one of his family jewels, but he runs a very efficient operation. The briefing, as proposed, appears to look at some of the high profit items, but also some of the other expense items. Pre-COVID, Dave Cook's scheduling system was more user-friendly. The city took it over, and you've heard tonight, people fight to get on at 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 6:05, the tee times are done. A former mayor who used to sit up there where you are now, and back in the days has a free golf pass, doesn't even come here anymore because he's so frustrated with the scheduling system. He now plays on Talega, and he just told me that 2 weeks ago. So there's more flexibility under the old system where he had open starters and other things available. So in short, Mr. Cook's organization should be able to bid on the next iteration, but ask for community qualifications in the bidding instructions, so he has the local infrastructure and can make things that are important, not American golf. Thank you.
Thank you.
No more speakers.
Okay, gentlemen, unless there are questions of staff, I'll entertain a motion.
Just a question or two.
Question of staff?
Yeah, to staff. Just on some of the comments there. There's a comment about the restaurant. Is the restaurant part of this aspect at all?
No, it's a separate contract and it's not up for renewal right now.
Great, thank you. There's another question about putting the service out to bid. And in doing that, with doing that process, is there any emphasis on doing any local bidding or having an emphasis on those who know the local course?
Certainly, that would be a factor in qualifications and how it's weighted.
Okay. And then there's another question about the not going through the golf committee. Is there a reason for that?
This came to council because it relates to the operations, so council could have the direction to send it to the golf committee. Just as if you're entertaining an RFP, council could say, I want the golf committee to participate in that RFP process, and they could be participants in crafting it and ensuring that there's proposals are put out fairly, that interviews are held. The committee could certainly get involved in that process as well.
Great, and then, another question of something was brought up about the qualifications for the PGA pros. How, as a city, do we know that we are getting the best pros for this golf, for our golf field?
So if that's related to golf lessons, and I think it was, that would be a requirement in order to become an instructor. Very similarly, our surf camp instructors are required to have a certain certification for life-saving and surf instruction. So the city has the ability and the authority to mandate certain requirements within any request that's put out.
And then one last question. Let's talk about, so Mr. Cook could actually put in an RFP as well for this process. He's not excluded from this.
Absolutely.
Great.
Any other questions of staff?
No.
May I
questions for staff? Go right ahead.
No question, I have a motion to make.
Before we have entertain motions, any other questions? Rick, did you have?
Real quick, what was the length of time of this last lease?
So the last amendment was initiated in 2020. I believe that was the fourth amendment for the current operator.
Okay, and for clarification, I know some people spoke about just renegotiate, but we can't renegotiate this. This has to be a new RFP. We can't just, okay.
That's correct. And you could do any of the 6 items listed. You could pick and choose what that looks like. It could be all, it could be none, it could be some.
Okay, so I appreciate all the comments about Mr. Cook. I'm not a golfer. I appreciate Mr. Dival's comments a lot. I really, and Don Brown, I know them pretty well, and whatever they say about the actual golf portion of this, I completely agree. Mr. Cook could conceivably be the director of the golf course then. I mean, if we did go to running it by the city and the RFPs again are open for the golf cart operation, golf lessons and equipment rental and repairs. So that is a possibility. I wouldn't, I'm done with questions now.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a question.
Oh, go right ahead with the question.
Regarding the restaurant, one of the biggest concern I heard, and I've been talking about this for months, about the restaurant and the quality of service for the golfers. But the income from that, does that subsidize the enterprise also?
A
golf
portion,
enterprise?
yes, of course it does. And there have been times in the history of the golf course and the golf fund where golf was down, significantly down. And the restaurant and the weddings and services were the ones that were floating the fund to continue to ensure we were solvent in that sense.
I just wanted to make that point because I think, even though I'm not happy with it, maybe other people out there are, but that money still does come into a pool of money that keeps our rates low in the end. And the only other thing, maybe it's more of a comment, is, well, I'll wait on it.
Yeah, let's entertain a motion if there is one, and then we'll discuss the motion, pros and cons. Was there a motion on the floor?
Yeah,
I think Zen Wu had it.
I make a motion to authorize the staff to issue a comprehensive RFP for the operation of all golf course services in alignment with the community needs, to solicit proposals for full service management of the starter operation, driving range, pro shop, carts, lessons, retail, and equipment rent repairs.
Okay, that's item 2 on our, does that incorporate both items 1 and 2 of the staff recommended
It's a
action?
modified item 2, slightly modification.
Okay, give me that slight modification again.
In align with, instead of a current operational model, is in align with community needs. And not excluding anything. Proposals for full service management of the starter operation, pro shop, driving range.
So you're not including starter operations, driving range, and golf case lessons?
I want it to be a comprehensive request.
So you want to include starter operations, driving range, and golf lessons?
That's correct.
Okay, so it is actually 1 and 2.
Everything.
Includes 1 and 2, okay. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Sorry, I'm
With
just
discussion?
clarifying on the proposed motion. You are proposing items 1 and 2 as they are
I'm
written?
proposing to just make a request for proposal for everything, the overall operation, including everything.
You say everything, but is that different than what is listed as the staff recommendation?
Difference is that it includes a starter operation.
Yeah, so
Here, I'll give you the list here.
Oh, okay. I'm just.
currently, the starter operations,
Those are
driving
the
range,
6.
and golf lessons are not included in the RFP, correct?
That's correct in the staff recommendation.
Is this and that into the RFP? Got it.
He's adding
He
these.
wants everything in the
Just
RFP.
if you look at the table 2, just the one package for everything.
There's a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Hearing none, Then is there another motion on the floor?
I would move the staff recommendation. I would also make a couple of comments with.
On the motion, once, if it's seconded.
If it's, okay, yeah.
There's a motion, a second. Any alternative motions or substitute motions? If not, let's discuss the motion.
I would only say a couple of things. Talking to the community and I did meet, Andy and I did meet with the members of the golf committee. We didn't meet with the entire committee, but met with Mr. Dival and Samantha, is it? Yeah, and got their insight. I think there is, this is, for me, is a place to start. I know that the community is very happy with the current leader of the golf course, and I am too. I think he does an extraordinary job. I don't think what we're trying to do, we're required to put this out for proposal. We did it with enough time, a year in advance, so that we could work through it. I'd like to see, maybe once we got the proposals, we could come back to the golf committee or even incorporate the golf committee in reviewing the RFP so that you see what it looks like, and then maybe bring it back to the city council. But we have to start soon if we want to get this done in a timely fashion. And starting right now, it will give us plenty of time to work through the entire process. If we put an RFP out January, February, that still gives us plenty of time. And I think we could work with the golf community to get a better understanding. Obviously, our concerns are, as a city, as stewards of the community and of the golf course, is looking how we improve the quality of, and not the golf course. Everything I've heard is a golf course. Everybody's happy with the golf course. People aren't always happy with how the tee times get assigned or getting a tee time. But we could work through that and maybe agendize that for the golf course committee to give us better recommendations how we improve that. But I'm happy at this starting point and working through and hopefully working with the golf committees, come up with maybe changes or modifications in the future, but getting the ball rolling on this process.
I just want to say I appreciate the comments that were made tonight, and I was impressed by how many people were concerned about our golf committee, who we look to for advice, hasn't really weighed in on this. I know you're suggesting they come in after during the RFP process, but perhaps we need to look at them in advance.
Yeah, I'd like to make a friendly amendment to that. I think you make good points. We do have time, which is nice. Instead of having the golf committee come back after we've done this and trying to implement, I'd like to send it to the golf committee and I don't mean just to come back with something that says Dave Cook runs the greatest operation in the world. I mean, really a comprehensive, what are the pluses and the minuses, what can be improved, and give them, they say they meet this week, we could give it to them and have them come back in 30 days.
I don't think we can get on the agenda for this week. I don't, maybe we could ask. It's this Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe we could have a meeting in a couple of weeks and.
They meet how often, Matt?
They meet quarterly, but we can
Quarterly.
hold a special meeting.
Can you call a special?
Certainly.
I hope that.
Oh, no,
A friendly amendment for an expedited special meeting for
I think
so they can weigh in.
we didn't have the opportunity, so Andy and I met with the leadership, but not with the entire group. And I think, I don't oppose that. I think it's not a bad idea.
Okay, that would be my friendly amendment. Oh, wait, I've got an expression of a face over here that something's wrong.
I would just be confused at how that would be an amendment to Councilmember Wu's motion.
Rather would be to.
Well, wasn't that for an RFP? This is to send it back to the golf committee
If we were to send it back to golf committee, then we should not make a decision tonight.
Right, right.
Right.
Refer to them to report back.
100%.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Then it's not a
Because
friendly amendment.
I know some of you,
It's a supplemental motion.
some of you has had input from golf committee members. I don't have any, so
You're amending your motion then to include a referral of this proposal, rather than adopting it, refer it to the golf committee to come back.
no, not really amending my original motion, just to make a substitute of a substitute.
Substitute
motion.
motion.
Okay, you're making it, well, you
Well,
made the
I think
original
Rick
motion.
made it
yeah,
one.
I'll be-
Make the
I will
substitute motion?
It
second
won't be a friendly amendment, it'll be a motion to send this.
A substitute motion,
to
and
the
I'll
golf
second the
committee.
substitute motion. Any discussion on the substitute
No,
motion?
I think the more input we have,
Okay,
it's good.
then if there are no comments on the substitute motion, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next item is, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll be back at 7:55.
Yes, we are.
Okay, the next item is the new business, establishing our council scheduling meeting. Gentlemen, do you have any thoughts on that, those dates?
Those all look,
They're fine with
should
me.
we wait for the other?
Well, we could
No, we
wait.
have a quorum. We have a meeting now.
Wait, we have a quorum. Do you have any comments?
I am okay with those dates.
Any concern with those dates?
Well, Mark is speaking.
Yeah, no, those dates would be great. I didn't have any concerns with any of them.
I didn't either, Mr. Moore.
I don't have any problem. I just wonder, what is the reason that we postpone the December meeting?
Why we postpone it?
Uh-huh.
The reason is that that's just such a busy time, and a lot of council members have said that week right before Christmas gets really overloaded with a lot of other events.
No. The first meeting, December 2nd meeting, got pushed to 9.
Yeah, the 9th rather than.
What is the reason for that?
We agree on that last year? Is that the?
Last year, we set a resolution to have one meeting in December, the second Tuesday of the month, and the reason was twofold. Number one, that second meeting in December always falls real close to the holiday. The first meeting in December, on the years that we have an election,
Right.
we often don't have the final results of the election, so we've historically had to either hold a special meeting, kind of that second week of December, in order to swear in the new council members.
I guess it also gives staff a little more time after Thanksgiving.
Correct, and then also, not necessarily Thanksgiving, but also it gives the mayor the year to do the tree lighting the following year, because often by the time we swear in the mayor, the tree lighting is
Okay,
already done.
okay.
So it just gives everyone an opportunity to
Okay,
serve
good.
that full year.
Well, Mayor,
For our council members joining us, we're on item 10A, and neither Mr. Enmeyer, Mr. Wu, or myself have any concerns about those dates. Are those acceptable to you before we receive a motion?
No. What was the discussion?
The discussion was those
You
dates.
missed it.
those dates- The discussion was those dates are not problematic for the three that were here at the time, but
10A on the
any-
schedule for next year's calendar.
any
10A.
thoughts on changing that, Rick or Victor?
No.
I'll give
We
you a
can
moment.
always, my problem is I don't have my schedule yet for next year until, December of this year. I'll get meetings for next, other committee member meeting.
Well, take a look
So,
at it and then
yeah.
let us know. We can always reschedule. We have to.
I did look at it. I did look at it, yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to,
Accept staff recommendation.
yeah.
Second.
The motion made by Mr. Enmeyer, seconded by Mr. Wu. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. The consent calendar. We have any public comments, Madam Clerk?
We do not.
Does anyone wish to pull any of the items on the consent calendar? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to move the balance.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That consent calendar passes. The next item is oral communications, Part 2.
We do have one speaker card. Tony Rubolino.
Good evening, Council. Last session, we heard from your reports on your events that you had gone to earlier in the month and all that, and sharing that with the community. I was particularly struck by Mark Onmeyer's comments, and he went to the Cal Cities conference. And I just want to play, just because it kind of stuck out to me, and I shared it on the crime forum. And other people were alerted to what was shared as well, so I'd like to go ahead and just replay it, just get it all fresh in our heads here. Let's see.
And how to protect them. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to open a door to an agent without a signed warrant. Do not sign any documents without speaking to a lawyer first.
So that was, I guess, targeting, I'm not sure, Mark, maybe you can clarify exactly what was being instructed. It sounds like from what your report was, is that Cal Cities instructed you to share that with the community. And it almost sounds, in my opinion, non-compliance with law enforcement officials. That's pretty alarming. And to hear that from the dais, I think that warrants some sort of response from council members, city management, somebody, because maybe Mark wasn't advocating for noncompliance with the law. I'm not really sure, but perhaps you could clarify, Mark. And then there was another comment that he made.
Over and over again, how imperative it was that the city do everything they can to make sure that their residents that look like you, Mr. Cabral, and have accents like you, Mr. Wu.
What? Oh my gosh. This also was shared in the crime forum, and I just wanted to read some of the comments. The general consensus was that was some of the most racist stuff that we have ever heard in the entire time we've been attending council sessions and listening to people speak. For you to call out your colleagues based off of their race and how they sound, I mean, Mark, take a step back and reflect on what you're sharing. It just was mind-blowing. I think that warrants an apology to the community and to your colleagues as well. That is absurd that you felt that was comfortable and okay to share. Welcome to hear whatever retort you have in response to that. Last thing is I watched a video that was shared earlier in the oral comm, and it involved Mr. Wu. I believe there was an allegation that you had blocked in a vehicle. I have had my run-ins with council members over the years, and that's just part of the deal. I have never had a council member park in front of me so that I could not exit. That is mind-blowing, and I think that warrants some sort of response as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a quick thing, just a clarification, making sure that our residents know their Fifth Amendment rights.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is item 13, future agenda items. Mr. Wu, you had one earlier in this evening regarding emergency. Do you want to make a
yeah.
motion to agendize that discussion?
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion to agendize for the city to provide some emergency assistance to our local residents who is on the CalFresh program. Assuming that the funding crisis did not get resolved in the next 2 weeks, so we don't know for sure. So let's for now agendize it, but if it's resolved, then we can just table the issue.
Okay, do you have a second for agendizing that discussion?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, that item is scheduled for discussion. Any other agenda items to be discussed?
You know, I don't know if we need to agendize this, but there was a lot of issues about the parking at the Presidio building. It would be nice to just get some staff, and maybe, I don't know that we need an agenda report on this, but it'd be great to hear some staff comments on it, maybe individually on it.
It's my district. I plan on going down there and I've already gotten the phone numbers of a couple of people who are common comment.
Mayor, this matter is going to come before the city council, so my recommendation
Oh,
is that
this
it
is-
not be
oh.
discussed at this time.
Oh,
or
this
with
is something
any
that's coming to
residents.
the city council?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought it was people
Well,
complaining.
is it, I didn't realize it was agenda. When,
Yeah,
It's not ready to be discussed
so
yet.
the staff having, planning
Staff
on
can-
agendizing that?
Staff can comment.
Yes, there is an application related to this business and specifically related to parking that will be coming before the council.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that, so.
Yeah, it's
so,
likely at the
okay.
next
Then we
council
won't-
meeting.
We won't discuss it then, but thank you for bringing it up.
I
was
could have told you
concerned
that,
as well.
Rick.
Was there any other questions, any concerns about any of the items that were discussed earlier tonight? I was a little bit bothered by Mr. Wu, by Mr. Kay's comments earlier about pulling in. I know you had an explanation of that, and I appreciate your explanation, but I don't know if it warrants a discussion, but in terms of the decorum of the, and it bothers me to even have to talk about it. 3 years ago, I was terribly bothered by a council member that had made some comments to the police, and actually before that, he made comments, a public press release calling members of the TCA board felons and accusing them of crimes. And it bothered me, and after a week or two, I finally said to my colleagues at the end of the meeting, we need to be careful on our decorum and how we communicate, and to have people from the, we get people criticizing us all the time. I've been called names. I've been called it, when I smile, I'm smirking at somebody, and I've been called all sorts of names. You have to have a little bit of a thick skin, but when we respond by calling people, public speakers, cowards, and we yell at them in the parking lot, pull the cars in so they can't leave, I'm troubled by that. And I don't know how we address that other than having everyone be on their most professional, best behavior, so to speak.
Mayor, I think you have good points. Normally, we're not supposed to respond, and I think I've done that quite well in the past. It's only for the last 2 meetings, because some of his comments are really, in my viewpoint, outrageous. So I felt I was
I
compelled
didn't understand you.
Let me finish.
But I didn't understand you, though.
So I responded in order to clarify the facts, right? For tonight, if Councilman Cabral doesn't ask to replay it, I would just keep it really simple, say this is not the case, and be done with it.
Yeah, well,
Could you said born out of something, and I didn't understand you. Could you?
Oh, I said in the past, I never responded to any people criticizing me. Only because the last 2 meetings, when there was those comments were, in my viewpoint, out of line.
and it's difficult not to.
Again, I didn't understand him again. You spoke over him.
I thought he was done. Are you done with your
Pardon?
comments? I've done that as well when people talk. I've taken a 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds to respond to something that's mentioned. So it's hard not to do that, and I think it's appropriate.
Maybe we can
But I just think in terms of, we're going to be, like one speaker said tonight when Chris Duncan was here, he got a lot of comments, and most of the time he didn't respond at all. And I try not to respond at all, but when we respond, we need to give people the freedom to speak without attacks, without,
Of course. How about we limit our response within, say, 15
Okay,
seconds?
I have to interject. I'm so sorry, Mayor and
that's
Council. We
discussion.
have entered into discussion here. We're talking about agendizing future items, so.
My question earlier when I started was, any discuss, it was a topic that was of concern to me. Do we need to discuss it, or do we just?
I
do we
would.
need to discuss it first further?
I am equally bothered by the conduct. I think it was, and this is the first time I saw the video, but I think it was entirely inappropriate. I don't know what.
So just, I'm sorry.
Let Victor finish.
I know, it's just everyone's going into discussion. Everyone has had an opportunity to discuss. I haven't, and you're going to continue to discuss, and that's fine.
He's
but-
talking about agendizing an item.
Okay, but you're going into discussion, so
Victor
I'm
has the
just.
floor. He's discussing a potential agenda item.
Yeah, I don't know at this time how we agendize. I talked about it earlier. I'm happy to listen, and I mean, I thought you had an agenda item earlier, but I'd be happy to consider whatever your views are on it.
Well, I already spoke.
No, I'm not.
Nothing to add to it. I did not yield to him. And plus, it's a private conversation.
Okay.
Well, I guess my discussion was, does anyone want to agendize a discussion of this specific issue of our response to the public? If not, then, if not, I guess we'll move on if there's no specific request. Okay, we have the emergency food item report. City Attorney,
I have nothing to report, except it's a pleasure to serve the city of San Clemente. Thank you.
Mr. Temporary City Manager, you've been very busy tonight.
Yeah.
You've done a good job.
I've had a
by
lot
the
to
way.
say, and
You've done a very good job.
no, we did have a water line failure on October 31st at Linda Lane down near the end of the cul-de-sac. City crews repaired it on Sunday over the weekend, and the water line is back in service, but the paving is pretty torn up. Contractor, we have an on-call contractor who will come in and start the repair next week. So bear with us as we make a fix out there. And other than that, it's been a pleasure serving the council, and hope Andy feels better.
You did a great job. You did a great job, Dave. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We need a date.
Adam.
Mention the date
I would move
to the next regular meeting.
next regular meeting scheduled for November 18th, 2025. Closed session will begin at 4:30. The regular business meeting will begin at 5:31 PM or 30 PM. Meeting will take place at the council chambers located at 910 Calle Negocio, second floor, San Clemente.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Meeting's adjourned.